Let me ask you a question. At what age should you have it all together? At what age should you have it all figured out? I get a lot of mostly young men on the channel, and they lament that they're at a place in their life and they don't have it figured out, and they don't have it all together, and they wonder what's wrong with them because they don't have it figured out. They don't have it all together. Of course you don't have it all together. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're not expected to have it all together.
Find a thing you like. Try to find a thing that you really enjoy. Try to find a thing that you're passionate about. And that was my vehicle out of my dilemma. That was my vehicle out of my own anxiety and trauma and my own issues and insecurities. And find something. Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial for young people, because it lets you know that, like, everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was at. Like, I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning, until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that, like, I could get better at stuff, that I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was, like, in a fucked up situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it. And then all of a sudden people admired me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went from being someone who was incredibly insecure and basically a failure to someone who was really successful at this one thing that was very dangerous. And that gave me immense confidence and also a real understanding of the direct correlation between hard work and success.
Things were not going well at home. My dad at the time was drinking, and things were not going well at school because I was getting bullied. Instead of focusing on what the teacher was saying, I had to try to think about how I'm gonna reach out my locker, pick up my book, and get to the bus before the guys get to me and beat me up. And that was something that was happening to me on a weekly basis. The only place I felt good, it was the dojo, because I was doing well in karate. I was starting to collect medals, and that was the only place where I feel like, hey man, I'm good here. I'm doing something well. I felt I never fit. When I was looking around and I was looking at my training partner in my environment, I didn't fit in, because all the guys I was with, they were like, yeah, I can't wait for Saturday night. And I'm like, man, I'm scared. I'm not happy to be here. To know that I'm gonna fight Saturday night, not knowing if I will be badly injured or humiliated, I'm afraid. And then I realized that, man, I need to make peace with it, and there's no shame to admit that you're afraid, because there's no courage without fear. And when I made peace with that, it changes everything in my life, because I made peace and I said it to even in my opponents, like, yeah, I'm scared of you, but no matter what, I'm gonna freaking walk the walk on Saturday night, and there's nothing you can do. And the way you counter fear, whether you're a fighter, an entrepreneur, or whatever, it's with the preparation. The more well you prepare, the more you will build up your confidence. Mm-hmm. And if you have confidence, remember, confidence is not the absence of fear. It's knowing that you have what you need in order to succeed.
Hey, Theo, this is Greg from Indiana. I actually just wanted to call and tell you, you said something that resonated with me. You said, nothing changes if nothing changes. I thought about it, and I went home and I applied for a job I'm probably not qualified for. And the next day I get a call from them. I have the interview, it goes well. She says she's going to set me up. A few days later, and I got the job. So now I'm going to be doing a job that I think I will appreciate more and enjoy more, and I'll be making double the money that I'm making now.
Gang. Bro, that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's crazy to sometimes think, like, what can happen if we decide, I'm going to see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. What happens when I decide for myself that I'm going to do something different? And I have been finding myself more motivated, even when I do not feel like doing something, to do it. My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not going to choose how I behave all the time. I just can't let it do it anymore. I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man. I just want to remind you, because I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change and not thinking I could. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier sometimes.
Peter? Otto. Well, it's good to see you, dear boy.
It's good to see you.
You're all grown up. How are you?
Trying to do better.
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire several times. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot, and it melts you down, and you're uncomfortable. And then life is going to pull you out, and it's going to put you on the anvil, and it's going to hammer on you some more. And you're going to say, what, am I done yet? Am I a sword for the ages? No, you're not done yet. But if you will patiently embrace the process, then by the time you get up in years, you can be a man that you're proud of.
When do you become a man? When you get a driver's license? Like, what do we do? You're 16, we give you a driver's license. Okay, well, like, you get a job? Like, when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And part of that is taking accountability. And so, like, I am very new to this being a man thing. And I'm still not there. And I'm on a path. But I didn't have I grew up in a culture that told me going to war made you a man. Going to prison, coming back makes you a man. Making $1 million makes you a man, and it doesn't. And you don't know it till you've done all these things and realize, damn, I'm still a little fucking boy. Yeah. Dudes who've been where I've been or something similar, just know it gets better. It does. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense that I could have joy in abundance in my life, that I could feel any kind of joy in my life after being what I've been.
You grow up and you make game-winning shots and it's awesome. You come back the next day and miss a game-winning shot and it's misery. And then the next day comes and you're back playing again, and you understand that life has this cyclical nature where it's, what you do on Monday, it's fantastic, but then Tuesday is a bad day. But guess what? There's Wednesday. Yeah. So are we just supposed to live our lives like this the whole time? Versus just staying like this and understanding that it's really just a journey of evolution. Every day is just constant improvement, constant curiosity, constantly getting better. The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.